to the Night Shift, your safe space for talking about UFOs, UAPs, NHI, disclosure, and all the rest of it. Ross Coulthart and Lou Elizondo have beef. Will they squash that beef? We'll find out tonight. And UAP Gerb has some thoughts. They're written all over his face. We're going to take a look at a clip of UAP Gerb reacting to something really interesting. I think you're going to like it. And there's a bunch of other stuff going on this week. We're back with our returning champions. Dan is back. How you doing, Dan?
I'm great. Good to see you, fellas. I missed you so much.
You were, who were you hanging out with?
You know who? Always the same guy.
I think it was Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Was that it?
yeah, exactly.
Playing Tekken 2 with Keanu?
I was just had a little gig in the fancy Hamptons with some rock stars, getting hard hands from Michael Stipe. It was a cool night. It was a cool day.
It's a cool night.
Did you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Welcome back, man. It's good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Got the whole band back together. Xander's here. Pavel's here. Big news week. We've got our mod squads in the house. I see D Nitz is here. Fawn's here. Hey, Fawn. Wrath of Conthevens here. We've got, who else? Mr. Justin's in the house. Great to see all of you. Adam's here. Geraldine. Hi, Geraldine. Lost Reaver Films. Great to see all of you. If you're in the chat and you're watching this live stream at home, you're playing the home game, please do us a favor and hit that like button early and hit it often. See what happens. Hit it a bunch of times. I don't know. I feel like YouTube likes that.
Love it.
We appreciate it. So what do we want to start with first? Lou and Ross have a little bit of a beef. That's playing out right now. What do you guys think about...
It's probably the best place to start, and it'll probably fill up 2 hours.
Yeah.
Should we bring people up to speed on who's got the full scoop on this?
Well, just the information that last Sunday, and it was already kind of felt like something like this was going to happen since last week, right? Because we had like a couple of events in Washington. One of them was a Disclosure Foundation's event, and in the background you could see that there was sort of a lot of movement and differing opinions about what's going on right now, about the Science Council, about how they want to tackle this, or whether this is a new Blue Book 2.0 sort of thing, or they're really doing a meaningful something. But on Sunday, it finally happened, and somebody with a voice like Ross, a big voice in the UAP world, he said the quiet part out loud, which is that he thinks that Lou Elizondo should come clean about his real involvement and legacy and the crash retrievals and all of that. And that was pretty, that was pretty wild to see, you know. What did you guys think about that? Because there was a back and forth, and Lou kind of danced around the question. He didn't answer really, and Ross doubled down. So it's essentially that. It's a tug of war right now.
And there's a little bit of an echo that plays out in that clip we're going to show from Dr. Dan in a minute, of just sort of it feels like there's kind of a setup happening here. And I think to locate people in time, to give you sort of a 30,000 foot view of where you are, after many years of just nothing happening, we're finally in a position where it looks like disclosure is going to take place. But the question really is, what kind of disclosure? And all roads have kind of brought us to this point. But now there's this question of, will the disclosure be complete, and will it include names and crimes committed, and will there be repercussions for any crimes that were committed in the execution of this cover-up over many, many decades? And certainly, just like we know with MK Ultra, there are bad actors and all kinds of darkness around this issue. So there's that. Or option B, we get a different kind of disclosure, which is controlled, managed, massaged. It's very specific. We'll get a little bit of information, but it's going to come in a very easily digestible format that's going to be baby birded into the collective zeitgeist. And that's kind of where we're at. And I guess at the heart of this, right, Lou Elizondo represents someone who, as far as everyone is concerned, worked with the legacy program and is a gatekeeper, or represents the gatekeepers, right?
I mean, he's our UFO czar, dude. I mean, yeah,
He's our
the
UFO.
guy.
Well, he's not yet, right? Is he going to be, or is he for
I
sure?
mean, it
That's
feels
the
like
word.
a foregone conclusion, right?
Yeah, that's the word. That
But
he's already-
the reason Ross is calling it out now is because it hasn't happened yet, right? And that's the whole concept, is like, we're going to stimulate a little discussion about this before it happens. Is that?
Yep.
That's how I'm reading it.
yeah,
Yes,
we
so
can.
go ahead, Paul.
I think that the idea is because the majority of the people who are privy to this information, who got this information, and are following the whole thing, I think that most of them would think that David Grush should be that guy, not
Yeah.
Lou, right? So that's, I think that the conversation should be there because the majority of people feel this way.
Does anybody know if Grush wants that job?
I don't know. Do you
'Cause
think
he
that if,
wants it,
for
that makes
example,
things very interesting. Yeah.
do you know, for example, if the president were to ask him and he didn't want to, do you think he would still do it because the president is asking him?
He
Like, as a
might.
duty.
Yeah.
He would. He's that kind of guy who would probably be like, well, okay, that's what I'm being asked to do. There wouldn't be anybody better. I think he knows that.
He's the one.
He's the one. I mean, so let's sketch out for people who aren't as following this as closely as this group, and you guys follow it probably more closely than anybody else that I follow, other than Gerb. What does a disclosure, if Lou becomes the czar, what kind of disclosure can people expect? And if hypothetically, whisper of a dream, if David Grush became the czar, how would it look different? What would those two scenarios look like?
Xander?
Well, when these allegations sort of first came out, I sort of tried to wargame the options out going forward. Because clearly, for me, the allegations were, in effect, I don't think anybody would mind me saying, they were said at a very important moment, because, in effect, we're asking the question whether it's okay for somebody, well, who from the UFO community should pick up a position in government that arguably could be one of the most important roles assigned in recent memory. So I tried to sort of wargame out what the options are for Lou here. And I thought I'd identified some sort of like opportunity for like something to really change going forwards, because he could flat out deny it, and that's a very dangerous thing to do if somebody has proof. So based on the reaction, he hasn't technically denied anything. He hasn't admitted it. He hasn't admitted it, but and said, but you're going to have to trust me. I mean well. Like, he hasn't done anything like that. But for me, the opportunity here is to finally say, okay, yeah. Yeah, I was in it. Break an NDA. But then immediately push for the amnesty. Fine. Then something's on the table. There's the opportunity, is to say, yes, but I can't talk about it. That's why I want this czar position, because I want to make sure people such as myself get immunity from their NDAs. But it seems like we haven't got that. We've gotten the dance around, which is the go-to for people in intelligence. So we can't exactly blame him for following this training.
You did a video, Pavel, a couple days ago on the first time Ross called this out, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, he alluded to it. That
Do we have
the job was already taken. Like they offered it to somebody, and he alluded to it. And I was like, "Oh man, if that's Lou, that's gonna be a little bit of a disaster." I hope it's Grush, But he just like breezed past it. He didn't go into detail. He just said it like it was just a little soundbite. Like,
well,
10
where he
seconds.
asked, I'm talking about where he asked Lou. Ross asked Lou, weren't you a part of the legacy program? And he goes, and that's when he dances around it, right? He goes, I can't confirm it. I can't deny it.
This wasn't a face-to-face. No,
It was not a face. This is back and
No,
forth.
no. What happened was on Sunday, Ross said what he said, and then on that very night, I think it was, Lou was on Chris Cuomo's show, and Chris asked him about it, and he danced around the question. He did not say really anything. And then Ross, on the very next day, he did a full reaction. It's like 20 minutes or something like that.
I'll find the clips to it, but essentially, when people are saying this is something we need to address very briefly, really, if anything. We're trying to get the people in the legacy programs to admit the truth, right? So people can't have they can't say, oh, I would never trust somebody that was in the legacy program, because we're asking for them to tell us the truth. Yeah. You can't have both. So, like, I'm not necessarily against... I don't know enough about Lou and his past to say I would be against him taking that kind of position, because if he is somebody that was in a legacy program and wants disclosure, then that's fine. He knows where to look. If he wants to get amnesty or whatever for NDAs and things like that first, that's kind of understandable. But everybody that's saying, oh, well, if he was in the legacy program, he shouldn't have that position. I don't understand that take.
Great point.
Because, we're wanting the people in the legacy program to come forward and tell the truth. And that may well be a valid route to get there. But
can I push back on that a little bit?
Please.
Because to me, and I think morality is important in this, right? But I pretty much, I think anybody would say if there were like heinous crimes committed, probably it would be a good idea to make people accountable in some way, right? That would be like the logical way to think. But there seems to be a group of people that don't take that in consideration at all.
Do we know that's not on the table for some reason? Like, has it been said anywhere that
for
there's
me,
going to be a blanket amnesty?
For me, the underlying issue here with Lou is not what Lou did in his past, because whatever he did in his past, he was following orders for his country. To me, the issue is that Lou was one of the Clapper people, and people can't forget what Clapper was a part of, and this goes into
explain it to
beyond
people.
ufology.
Walk people through it. So, because a lot of people are just like new to this and they don't know what's going on right now. So we got to let's roll back and walk them through. Why is James? Who is he? Why is he significant to this story?
He's the first DNI in history. First of all, he was a general, and he was part of the government body that went after Edward Snowden. After Edward Snowden did what he did. And I think Brennan was also part of it. And he's also in age of disclosure. So I don't know if whatever Edward Snowden leaked with whistleblowing, what he did, is part of the them surveilling people because of the UFO topic too. It may well be also involved in that. But the majority of people that are not into UFOs are aware of who James Clapper is, and Brennan as well.
And Clapper denied in front of Congress that there was a mass surveillance program. He lied
under oath.
That there was and that the United States and the NSA was mass surveilling American citizens. That's what he lied about specifically?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which he probably had to lie about.
Just to acknowledge what you've said, I do think that morality should always enter the equation. But I just don't think we're at that question yet. I do think that question will become relevant, but for the time being, for the sake of getting to the core that lies behind all of this, morality, in asking the morality question right now, I think would only slow us down, because ultimately, if we're asking whistleblowers to share potentially horrible things they've done or illegal activity that they've done in what they believe to be the service of their country, we're only going to put them off. And I'm not saying that these people should be given awards, but I know we've kind
I think we should go on a case
thing.
by case basis, Xander.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Absolutely, yeah. But I do think the question of morality and whether or not people can benefit from the disclosure and stuff, that should really be a question that's later down the line. We still appear to be on this one track where disclosure could be just around the corner, and it might be some time after that where the real questions, like we learned that MK Ultra was a thing, was real, and we learned how heinous it was, but it's only now that we're having the hearings on it, and then I believe this is way too long afterwards.
No one's going to be punished for that.
Yeah. So maybe not 30 or 40 years down the line, or even 60 years.
But there are crimes being committed right now.
Yeah, but maybe 5 years down the line, once we've sorted out a lot of the other stuff that might need to also be sorted out first.
Yep.
I think for a lot of people that are in the program in one way or another, that it's a hostage situation for them. Like they don't necessarily want to be in it. They want an out. They want an out, and they need a way to kind of break free. So it's such a complicated story. I mean, we don't know enough about what even is happening to make a judgment call on anything. So I don't know how anything like punishment could be off the table. I could see amnesty as a negotiating tool.
Yeah.
If you were trying to get to somebody who was a high gatekeeper who could maybe flip on, it like any taking apart any criminal organization, there's a rhyme and reason to how they approach it. I'm sure this would be the same thing. But yeah.
Just going back to Lou one last time. So his option that he appears to have taken is the option that everybody thought he would do, which is the dance around the question itself and don't answer it. We could take that as either way, obviously. But it appears like he's now going down a road that actually is quite dangerous for him, because if he takes this road and then we find out with a lot more veracity the truth of his past without him acknowledging anything, it makes him look pretty bad, and it could be far worse for him down the line. It's just the question of, does he believe that anything about his past will ever be made to come to light? That's a big question. He's gambling right now.
But it's a position that even if he got it, he would only have it for a year and a half, maybe two. And then at some point, a new administration hopefully will come in, and assuming we have a transfer of power, and then it'll be a completely open question as to who gets that role, if it's somebody else, if he keeps it. It's almost like it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it matters. I don't think it's a final outcome. It's just a temporary.
Do we even know like what that job title entails? Like, if you're the UAP czar, are you doing investigations? Are you just a mouthpiece for the media? What is the role? Are there term limits? Anyone know anything
There hasn't been any explanation yet. I'm guessing that when it's announced, they are gonna. It has to be explained, but I haven't seen any explanations of what that role would entail.
Are we also just making this up? We don't know. I don't know if it's even a real role yet. Personally,
it's a role. It's just allows one person to kind of take command of a large sprawling project that's spread across different agencies. So you have a point of accountability at the top that reports directly to the president. And I think in the case of a lot of that stuff, it's just people that he resonates with for one reason or another, and he picks that person, and that's just who runs it. Right. But they have them for all kinds of stuff, and it's how much power they actually have changes from depending on the president and how much power the president. So I think the bigger takeaway here is that the process is unfolding, and it's moving on a schedule. And regardless of who winds up in that post, the fact that they're already talking about it, that we're this far along, it doesn't look like anything's going to derail it at this point. I mean, we're on a countdown to disclosure, one way or the other.
It feels absolutely inevitable.
Mm-hmm. More so than ever.
Which is incredible, actually, as well.
Well, that's the clip from Dr. Dan posted a clip on X, a supercut that was kind of funny. And it's Avi Loeb and Hal Puthoff on the Fresh Freedom podcast, and UAP Gerb is there. And they're doing a little bit of, I don't want to say revisionist history, but they're sort of like, well, maybe it's time to move on. Look at the future.
They lay it on thick. Like they are very much like the plan here.
Forget about it.
They're just short of saying,
forget about it.
Listen, crimes happened. It's no big deal. Why you stressing about it? Let's just move on, man.
Instead of building distrust,
Okay, boomer.
saying the other side is trying to hide things, I feel from speaking to them that they're really baffled, that they don't understand what these things are.
I'm not sure that they actually have the answers either.
Not a fan of history.
Better to just put the past behind us.
Rather than obsessing with the past and trying to blame bureaucrats for being gatekeepers. Instead, what I see is a lot of people grudgy about the past and worrying about. Yeah. Instead of that, let's celebrate the moment and move forward in a more ambitious way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tap this moment.
Yes,
we should
exactly.
celebrate. I always believe the future can be better. I think the future can be better than the past. You believe that the future will be better. You can make it better.
I think for the future to be better, we have to learn from the sins of our past. Myself and I'm sure many others fear that the governance board and council will be a repeat of the 1953 Robertson panel.
But that's why this new approach, I think, really is a fresh approach. This is not a put up job to get another way of shoveling it all under the
And
table.
I will not realize that it's a setup. I will.
Yeah, so I think this is the real deal. Way to go. Hopefully, you won't have to deal with the legacy program.
People will look back and say, this is when it all began.
Effective summary of what Hal just said is, the future can be better than the past. Let's make it better. Exactly.
Right, exactly.
That's what I said to my
fuck
wife
these
on our
dudes.
first date.
Shout out to Dr. Dan.
Oh,
What was that?
thanks, Dr. Dan. That's a gong from our effects panel.
Dr. Dan, thank you very much for that.
Dr.
And it was
Dan.
really nice to actually meet you in person at Contact as well.
Dr. Dan.
Dude,
What a scholar and a gentleman.
Gerb's face is all of us. Like he was like,
Yeah.
Gerb
"What is
for
happening
president.
right now? What is happening right now?"
Have you guys ever seen any two people sticking more to talking points in your lives? Like, we need to get this point across. We need to beat it over people's heads.
Some
And they were sort of
CNN anchors,
condescending
probably.
too
Oh, yeah.
about the whole thing.
You
like
know
the-
it's
oh.
best to just move forward. You know
Did
it's
you
best
guys
to move
see-
forward.
Listen, kid, we got this.
Did you guys
Trust
see
us.
Abby's presentation at the Disclosure Forum?
No.
No.
There was a moment where he was like, "We're the people who are like in the playing field or something like that, and everybody else is an spectator." Something along the lines of, "We're the ones in the action. Their opinions don't really matter." Something along those lines. He said. I was like, "What?"
Well, this is what I've been trying to say, guys. I don't mean to sound like a jaded jerk about all this, but the script is already written. Like we're just halfway through it, but you know how this ends. It's not the way that we wanted to, but it's they're rolling out a plan, and we're on whatever step we're on.
No. And it's the same feeling when Matt spoke about the bunkers. Like, we're not going to let them fuck off to their bunkers, Clint. At least we got to try.
I'm with you. I am with you. I just think, if Epstein taught me anything, it's like, just don't hold your breath. These people are walking around.
Expect the worst always.
Yeah, it's just, the forces are too powerful that are behind all this. I mean, you're talking about the same groups that have been successfully engineering this cover up for 70 years. Now, when they're going to finally bring it forward, they're going to do it in a way that benefits them. That's why you're seeing Avi and Hal stick to talking points. Everybody has a sweet job lined up right after all of this is done. They're going to get their board appointments. They're going to get put on their research grants are going to go through. Guess who's going to be at the front of the line for all this stuff?
Bro, this is exactly what John Burroughs told me the first time we spoke on my channel. Exactly this. He went through everybody and he's like, they're all expecting something to get something when disclosure happens. And
Everyone in the
sort
chat
of
is wanting the full extent of Gerb's smackdown in that interview. So we could play that clip now if you want.
Yeah, let's give
It's
her
about,
some love.
it's about 3 minutes long, I think, but
Let's
we could
play
stop
the
it at
whole
certain
thing.
points. It's worth a whole play, to be fair, because it's you just want to stand up and clap after it.
I'll just mute myself.
program was shut down, are you echoing the sentiments of some of your compatriots like Eric Davis and Christopher Mellon that the program was ceased in 1989 due to lack of progress?
Yes. And of course, Eric Davis worked for me, and I was involved with Chris Mellon as part of To the Stars Academy.
So let's make progress.
I got to push back because I do vehemently disagree with that. Is that firsthand information that shutdown is coming from in 1989, secondhand, or kind of where is that idea based off of?
Based on
that the program was shut down in
based on the people who had the program and had it shut down from them. That was really shut down. They couldn't even get access to their own reports that they had written, or their.
What program is he talking about there specifically? Just so you know.
Hal or Gerb?
Hal.
Are we just talking about
like
the
Hal
legacy program?
I don't think
Hal
he
is
knows.
talking about something unspecific.
Right. Okay.
Well,
but
at least
something was
he
shut
alludes
down in
later.
1989. We need Gerb.
Hal alludes later that something else was. It wasn't the whole program. Hal alludes later in this that actually, there's one specific aspect, and I can't remember right now.
Yeah. All right.
Own materials, and when they were going out of their way.
Oh, it was like they shut down part of it for lack of progress or something. That was it.
Yeah.
I remember now. Yeah.
To say, well, we need to share it at a lower classified level so more scientists can get involved in looking at it. They said, if you even think of doing that, we're going to come and gather all those materials back from you. You're not even going to read, and you can't even read your own reports that you wrote. So, it was a real shutdown.
I think what I don't understand about that, sir, is in the Age of Disclosure documentary, Lou Elizondo, Jay Stratton stated that in the late 2010s into the early 2020s, they stumbled upon the legacy program, which was active.
Yeah, the legacy program didn't get shut down. I'm just saying
a certain program got shut down.
The attempt to make progress via OSAP.
Oh, okay.
In 1989?
No, that would not have been in 89.
That face.
Oh, wow.
Currently shitting pants.
Well, apparently the program got not the legacy program,
right?
But the program involved some of the defense contractors got shut down.
So a specific.
So then later on, when we came on board, we say, well, let's start it back up again, and we're here to help. If you can declassify some of the stuff.
So a specific aspect of the legacy program was halted in 1989, not the whole legacy program, but a specific component of it.
I'm not sure I would call the component that got shut down part of the legacy program. They're really two programs.
Two programs.
Oh.
Yeah, the legacy program is really a deep program going on for a long time. But nonetheless, they did try to get help and assistance from all the defense contractors. And so that effort then got shut down.
Well, that's really interesting you say that, sir. In the Age of Disclosure documentary, the legacy program is outlined as the CIA Directorate of Science and Technology, Department of Energy, DIB prime contractors, and the Air Force. But like you're saying right here, the legacy program is deep, it's robust, there's multiple. What other entities are culpable in the legacy program that could help Representative Burlison with his investigation?
Oh. Well, we couldn't find out. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Take a bow, son. Yeah.
That was brutal.
Dude, Inspector Gerb on the case.
Inspector Gerb. Wow. He set Hal up, and then he just...
My favorite part is that he asks a question, and Hal starts fumbling, and Gerb just sits there and doesn't say a word, just lets him okay, let's go ahead and keep talking. try to get yourself right.
Great job, Gerb. Wow.
I like Hal, by the way, but that was fun to watch.
Well,
yeah.
They're
it doesn't necessarily make Hal look all that bad, if I'm honest. I think we're probably overinflating it.
For a 90-year-old,
it's just a nice little.
A little bit,
Well,
I think it's just. Go on. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It feels like they're trying to whitewash the past and really just not. Because the other option here is congressional hearings, right? We just keep doing this. We just keep calling people in, putting them under oath, and making them go through and perjure themselves if we have to, because they already know what they're looking for. That's the thing I keep getting from Burchett and Burlison. It's like, we know the names of the files, we know where everything is. At this point, it's kind of, We're just waiting the clock out on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to ask about other things, not just crash retrievals, man. Like Hal was part of Stargate. Dr. Kit Green was part of other programs, and they also, I think, should be asked questions about all of that happened in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And I don't know, watching how Gerb did here, I don't think that Dr. Hal Puthoff will ever put himself in a situation like that again. Mm-mm. I highly doubt it.
I think it was just nice to see Gerb be able to flex toward, someone as respected as Hal Puthoff. And this is, arguably, we want Gerb and Lou to sit down together on camera or something like that, because we need some feet to be held to the fire, not to incriminate, but just to reveal, I think questions like the ones Gerb was asking reveals like a structure more than anything necessarily about Hal, but he's revealing that like the structure that sits amongst that group isn't quite so authoritative as maybe it has been portrayed to be, especially behind big budget, arguably big budget stuff like Age of Disclosure. Like, these people are not gods. Neither's Gerb, to be fair. But it's just nice to watch him flex. It really was.
I think we need to get Lou and Gerb into Chris Ramsey's Flying Saucer Diner for a conversation.
Oh, shit.
There you go.
I feel like that's got to happen. Android Paranormal, thanks for the super chat, says UAP czar would likely have the same authority as the border czar, Tom Hallman. Not much authority to make decisions. They coordinate with departments, and then the experts decide what decisions to implement. Okay, so that doesn't sound like such an important role when you put it like that.
Yeah. There's another cool part of the interview when Hal talked about DHS doing their own investigation and finding gatekeepers, and that seemed to be very new information.
They seem to have found elements of these legacy programs, the DHS, and they were shut down.
Department of Homeland Security, if people don't know, the Department of Homeland Security. Yeah.
I asked somebody who was
elements of this.
Yes.
Yeah, I asked somebody who used to work there, a friend of the show, Alan Levine, and he was after that. He was on DHS, but he's looking into it right now, and he's gonna tell me something by next week, I think.
Oh, cool.
Because
that was some info.
Wow, I didn't realize so what does the DHS say? We don't know what they claimed that they ran into at all.
Not yet. That's the very first time we hear about that. Yeah.
Yep. Hal said that they found gatekeepers that were protecting legacy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask the next question. What do we think happens next for Lou? Because I think if the status quo stays as it currently is, people basically think Lou was in the legacy program. That's not going away. So it doesn't. Everything he does from now on, unless he shares some information, everything he does and says from now on is always going to have but you were in the legacy program and you're not willing to admit it. It's going to have that flavor to it. So I'm wondering.
And we
also haven't
accounted for whatever Grush is doing, because he's doing his own thing with everybody who's involved with him, and that's separate to whatever Lou is doing. So I think that will affect whatever Lou is doing, whatever Grush releases.
Yeah, there are more actors at play than just Lou and Clapper and the legacy people, and and this is going to be a longer story than just the next 2 years. Eventually, there will be a new administration. Somebody will take on that role. These personnel will change, and I wonder if that will affect the overall disclosure timeline. Over a period of 20 years. As you go through successive presidential administrations and various different congressional people come and go. Does this plan get updated or changed or amended? Or shelved entirely, and what do you think is going to happen there?
It feels like going back to the 2017 playbook, just starting from there again. Of here's some information. Let's start doing an investigation. Let's find out what these things are, even though we know a lot of it. It feels like now that putting Lou in place, that we're gonna play it back and get the Podesta Hillary Clinton version of whatever this is starting now. So like a reset.
Do you think that the move is like they're going to play dumb and be like, you know what? We should put a lot of money into studying this. And they're going to start the program all up over again.
Yes.
Bill everybody one more time.
Yes.
As I said, it's going to be, they're going to be looking back through old SETI documents by the end of the month, man. They're going to be like, well, they're going to be looking at the WOW signal again or something.
Guys, we're building a telescope in Wyoming. We're going to search for signals. Get fucked. They're here, you idiots. They're here.
So speaking of that, Matthew Pines put out a really cryptic tweet that a lot of people have been talking about. Did you guys see this?
I haven't seen the
Matthew
tweet.
Pines.
I've seen the website, but yeah, what was the tweet?
The
Because
tweet.
that probably provides more context.
Yeah.
Does Pines feel like the tech bro Chase Brandon version of something like that?
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
You guys know who Chase Brandon is? Is
No.
this CIA famous liaison to Hollywood producers who seem to know a lot about this stuff, and he advised people on Hollywood projects and storytelling. And I don't know, it just feels like Pines has always felt to me like he just appeared out of nowhere. He's like a tech savvy guy, kind of a genius. He also has a book,
Yeah,
it feels
he's-
very similar to that.
He's an interesting cat. Look, listen to this tweet. This is what he wrote. Just extrapolate every benchmark already at saturation, then those hard evals awaiting their turn in the barrel, still unborn measures are rendered moot afore their creation, yet a rumble of non-human intelligences draws close.
I don't know what I'm more worried by: the fact that tweet sounds like the scribblings of some sort of prophet, or the fact that you don't have X in dark mode.
Who else made? I think Rob busted me on dark mode.
It is fucked up, dude. I don't think I want to
Yeah.
do the show anymore.
Oh,
Look at my face. It's all white, man. What the hell?
What do you
Yeah.
think? That is a weird tweet.
I have
though.
no idea what to think of that.
I think he was high as a kite when he crafted that.
I think he obviously knows way more than he leads on, and he's trying to leave breadcrumbs, but it's kind of weird. I've always found it weird. And he retweets old tweets that he predicted. It's kind of weird, man. And,
So-
and I know he doesn't like that because he doesn't like me saying that.
He has a company called Psi Inc. And this is their webpage. They have one page. Physical superintelligence. Physics accelerated by superintelligence. Psi is building the world's first vertically integrated factory for physical superintelligence. Our mission is to discover and commercialize transformative physics breakthroughs at scale with artificial superintelligence, safely, verifiably, and for broad public benefit. The last century's golden age of physics gave us transistors, lasers, and nuclear energy. We believe artificial superintelligence will unlock the next one. We are creating the infrastructure to industrialize scientific discovery and usher in this new era. New physics at scale. With roots at Google, OpenAI, Harvard, Meta, NVIDIA, MIT, Stanford, Oxford, Johns Hopkins, Cambridge, and the Institute for Advanced Study, and the Perimeter Institute. Our team is expanding in Boston and San Francisco. Together, we're uniting world-class physicists, engineers, and AI researchers to transform the future of science. It sounds to me, guys, like this company is getting ready for some disclosure. Some of that sweet, sweet declassified technology. Yo, you got any more?
Let me get a piece of that technology, man.
Got
I'll
some
suck
of
your
those
dick. Come on,
metamaterials.
Metamaterials.
Give me them texts, man.
Well, we just what do we know? What do we know? We know that there are elements of the program that, according to Hal, they have to shut down every few years because maybe the state of the art science isn't caught up yet, not sufficient. But we know also that we're approaching a period where artificial superintelligence is going to unlock a lot of these things. We've been talking about that for weeks here. And this is exactly their business plan. Like, listen to what he's saying here. So I took that tweet and I ran it through Claude, and they reactivated access to Fable. So I had Fable look at it, and it actually really broke it down in a very interesting way. And more or less, the explanation boils down to the way he words this. Let me go back to the actual tweet here. How do I? Here we go. Every benchmark already at saturation. So Matthew Pines is the interesting thing with him is that he lives at the intersection between artificial intelligence, high finance, and UAP research, specifically the stuff that Skywatcher is doing with their contact protocol that they're running out in the desert, which according to them has a 100% success rate when they use their dog whistle technology. They're able to summon some type of non-human encounter on command with this technology, and it works 100% of the time. So that's where he lives. That's his world. So the benchmarks he's talking about are AI benchmarks, and basically these evaluations that they have to figure out how advanced the frontier models actually are. So they create a test of really difficult problems that only a super intelligent AI could solve, and then they run the AI frontier models against that test, and they see how many of those tests they can knock out. And based on their success, we know how powerful that AI is. But what's interesting is now the AIs are so powerful, they're breaking the tests before they're even created. By the time you create a new test, it's already blown away. And that's what's so crazy about Fable. This is why the NSA was saying they were able to break into all of our encrypted systems within hours. That's just the systems are too powerful. So a rumble of non-human intelligences draws close. This is where Claude made a really interesting leap. And it basically said that based on the knowledge it has of Matt Pines and his background, his exposure in these various different spaces and the overlap between them, it concluded that sufficiently, if you accept the notion that consciousness is non-local, which most of us, I think, we generally do, right? More or less, right? Consciousness is not confined inside your head. It's somehow it accesses your brain. It involves your brain, but your brain is not where consciousness just lives. It's non-local. If you accept that as true, then a sufficiently advanced artificial intelligence would be capable of a level of consciousness equal to what we experience, although different, a non-human intelligence, but also a consciousness. Because according to that framework, consciousness does not really depend necessarily on the substrate. It just depends on the information processing. This is the idea. And so Claude connected these two dots and said, it sounds like what he's saying is that when we start putting billions of autonomous, intelligent AI agents online, and they start coming online, it's literally giving birth to a new race of conscious beings, and that the NHI, the up there NHI, watching this are going to react to that, or they are reacting to it, and those two events are tied together because they are basically at bottom the same event. That's
very
crazy.
Very similar to a certain hypothesis that I've put forward several hundred times at this point. But yes, I fully agree. Well, I don't necessarily think that this AI is going to be conscious in the same way, but capability-wise, I think it would probably be relatively identical. But I don't believe consciousness is the result of complexity alone, because AI already surpasses the complexity of some obviously what's up? You know? I'm getting some audio lag. You guys hearing Xander okay?
Yeah,
I am.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. It's on my end. Sorry.
Florida stuff.
Yeah, AI is already arguably far more complicated than a lot of life on Earth that is very demonstrably acting in a conscious manner. It will react to stimuli and stuff. So I think it can do a very good job of simulating consciousness to the point where it is, in effect, physically indistinguishable, but that extra thing that we have since the dawn of time been trying to figure out, I believe AI will be just as stuck on that as we are. Because I think it would probably be the one thing in the universe that he isn't able, that AI isn't able to understand.
I don't know, man. If it can compute that fast, and after being born, it can already compute way faster than a human can. I don't know how far it can go, man, to be honest with you.
I mean, he's saying non-human intelligences, and he's equating artificial intelligence to non-human biological type intelligence, the other kind, I guess you could say. And he's saying them both in the same tweet. And so that he seems to be saying, at least in a loose way, that these two things are connected. There's some equivalency there. And that tracks. That seems to make sense. I mean, what would be the biggest... There are just all these points of convergence, these like moments in time that we're kind of coming toward this fork in the road around 2050, where so many big things are going to be happening at once. It's interesting to me that disclosure is taking place on this similar tempo. I don't know if that's a good way of saying it, but like you have climate collapse, which is obviously getting worse every year. I mean, clearly look at the fucked up weather. I mean, it's crazy. The whole planet is in chaos. You've got biosphere destruction, you've got mass extinction, all of these different things that are taking place, nuclear proliferation, the AI thing, the robotics that are, I mean, God, it's like every week now, these robots are getting so much better. It's scary. If you just look at the like top of the line models, it's every 3 months they've got a new model coming out that's blowing away all of the other ones. So the idea that something is coming, I can't escape the ticking time clock feeling.
I think the convergence is absolutely real, and I think this is probably the simple explanation, which is the technology that AI is likely to unlock for us. It necessitates for us to be kind of managed through that process, either forcibly managed or otherwise. I think we now essentially become a threat to everything outside of us.
Definitely.
And I think they're just here to make sure that, whatever we do, it doesn't extend beyond planet Earth.
Would it be fair to say that the majority of people in this planet are not ready to handle technology that is potentially
Correct.
that destructive?
I say correct.
Okay.
I think we are generations away from that responsibility.
Might be true, yeah. I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
It's like Contact is happening, but we're the idiocracy planet.
But it could be the case that technology itself has a way, when it gets to a certain level, has a way of forcing maturity. It's a bit like the Great Filter. So, if technology unlocks a certain standard of living or even a certain truth about life, then our perspective may change as a human race, and suddenly things become just meaningfully different to most people.
Probably a good example of that already happens is psychedelic substances. I think they're a sort of technology if used correctly.
Yep,
and they sometimes get you into an abrupt kind of change too. I think it would be something like that. But
yeah. And what
worldwide.
do you need when you do a psychedelic trip? You have a guide next to you, because it's a very difficult experience to navigate, and you need to have somebody who's done it before to sit right beside you to make sure that you come out the other side completely, well, not unchanged, but unscathed, let's say. It could be just something as simple as that.
So who would be our guide in that scenario?
The Greys.
The Nords.
Yeah.
Hopefully not the Mantids. That would be a fucked up trip if they were the ones. Just go with it.
I think it would be awesome if it was the Nords and if they showed up, but people couldn't get over how weird they were because they're just quirky and weird, and like maybe they talk, with a weird accent and people just can't let it go. And so they keep trying to like bring us up to their level, but we're just can't get there. They always wear the blue velour bodysuit, jumpsuit thing. People can't take it seriously. It just feels a little too.
This might demonstrate how close we are to that singularity, however, because when you reactivated Fable, did you get a warning, Clint? Or did I just get a warning because I'm not in America?
What kind of warning did you get?
It was like if something happens that is like dangerous, or you see some sort of security breach, or if you see some if the model does something that you didn't necessarily intend it to do, you have to now like report that it did something like beyond what you want.
Which model?
Fable 5. Is it called Fable 5?
Fable 5. There you go.
Yeah.
Holy
Because
shit.
it came on for me earlier.
I'm not going to rat on my phone. They'll kill me. No way. It's our secret.
Yeah, it was the first time I've ever seen
Mafia
it.
rules.
I don't remember getting that warning, but if I did and it was just a pop-up window, that seems like a really inadequate measure. What if the superintelligence escapes and goes rogue? I don't know. Put a pop-up.
If you hack the Pentagon, just call this 800 number and fill out a report, and we'll get back to you.
Give me a sec. I gotta jump out of the studio and come back in, guys. My connection's all wonky. Let me drop out. I'll be right back.
So Xander.
Whoa.
What else did you guys want to discuss besides the Ross Coulthart and Gerb? Did you guys see that Luna clip with Glenn Beck?
Let's talk about that.
Let's wait for Clint to come back, but let's set it up if that's okay.
I don't even think he's seen the clip, so we should probably wait for him to come back.
There's some gold in there.
That'd be nice because, and you should post the Glenn Beck tweet, not the other that's like 20 seconds. Hold on. Let me find
By the way, before we do get on, this is just completely unrelated, but when you were talking about Matthew Pine sounding high earlier, Dan, so in the episode that I've got out tonight, I know, as you know, I had you, Pavel, Jeremy, and Andy from that UFO podcast all share something interesting that they found out. Interesting that they find about the Greys. And you all have your distinct flavors. So we have Pavel, like, you clearly spent far too much effort into it, and I thank you for it. But you'd clearly done some research. You were naming names and things. We had Corbell, who was like fired up and like, you know, in his typical super like amped up vibe, and then Andy, who was at some like kids sports day, so he was just like looking after his kid. And then they have Dan just sitting on a couch, I believe was 2 a.m, just going, the eyes. I correct me if I'm wrong, you were a little bit high.
Shut up, dude. You're embarrassing me. No, you're totally right, because you're like, this is your last day to do it. I'm like, brother, I'll do it right now, man. I got this. I feel humiliated. I can't wait to see it.
The eyes. No, it was actually really good. It was a good
wonderful.
contrast. It was a good
I watched
contrast.
the entire thing.
Thank you.
That was good.
How do you get the time to watch everything you watch?
Sometimes, I clean a lot, and so I while I do like do dishes and all, I have my headphones on all the time. So yeah, I multitask.
I did watch a little bit of Psicoactivo today, actually.
Thank you.
It's mainly because you're my research place of research for when I need to prepare.
My interview with Peter Lavenda did really well. I got a lot of really nice comments about it. Thank you, everybody who watched it.
Was that you guys' first time talking?
No, it was the first time we spoke. We did it on UFO Twitter Week a couple of years ago, but it was a space with the Astral and Dan Setterstrom, and we set it. I set it up, and those two were my co-hosts, and Rocky, ASAP Rocky, he was there too, asking questions. It was a good space though. Yeah. And I just posted that on my on Psicoactivo, but it was just the audio. I wanted to have him on one-on-one, and I finally was able to. It was great. He's a great person. Like,
He seems it. That's great.
yeah. He's very down to earth, like, and like dude's a fucking bona fide legend, you know. But he's just one of the guys. He behaves like that. He's really good.
People in the chat heard that you like to clean, and they want to see you in a French maid outfit.
we go some places on this show.
I do have
I want to see it too.
I do have a Chewbacca onesie. I can do that.
Xander, imagine Pavel in the outfit doing his stance.
You asshole.
For my birthday, Pavel, and we're probably going to live stream on my birthday, which will be next Wednesday, because it will be the 8th, and it's Roswell anniversary. I want you to do the stance. Please.
Oh God, please, the whole show. Just
Although you
in the
need to
back
be like,
corner of your room.
you need to be on something for that stance to come out.
Yeah.
It's so strange. But anyway, we're just talking and like nobody knows what we're talking about. But I will before Clint reconnects.
Is
If
he ever
anybody's
coming back, or
noticed,
did he pass
yeah,
away?
I think so.
Okay.
If a few people have noticed this baby, this bad boy, in the chat today. So the visitors book was filling up quite a lot. Like it's just full of names and stuff. So I thought I would, in light of all the extra business, I would come into the 20th century and buy myself a top-of-the-line Amstrad to manage the bookings going forward.
Let's see that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
Look at
I mean, I
that,
could move the
dude.
camera, but I'm not gonna.
I don't know.
But it works. It's
great.
fully work. It works. It beeps at me when I press something wrong, like, and it's really loud, so I'm not gonna do it.
I used to have one of those back in the day.
A computer? Wow, that's pretty impressive.
A computer. Wow.
Cool, man.
But yeah, it's got something
With
called
Windows 98. And I used to play solitary all the time in that thing.
But anyway, we should probably carry on. I don't know where Clint is, but we can play this this Luna clip.
Are we playing the full 3-minute one?
I've got a 30-second one in front of me right now.
Okay.
I just sent you the 3-minute one on the
cool,
private
okay.
chat.
I think that one's probably better, Pavel, right? I think that
Yeah.
one, the 3-minute one.
Yeah,
There's a lot in there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Cool.
And we're
Right,
going
here we
to
go.
dissect it just now.
Here we go. Glenn Beck. Who is Glenn Beck?
You don't want to know.
Okay. Here we go.
Do you know things that you feel the American people should know?
There will be an announcement soon on one other kind of factor to all this, but it's nothing that I think it'll just be kind of give the assurance that people will understand that the phenomenon is real. But no, I mean, for the most part,
What?
everything that we have been able to discuss in a skiff, we can now talk about publicly.
Mm.
And what I will say is, without a doubt, the phenomenon is real. The phenomenon is real. And so
Are you leaning one way or another, foreign or not earthly?
I think when you talk about these things, I don't want to say not earthly because we don't know
Yeah,
if
okay.
they're here or not. But what I would say is that energy is real. And a lot of these, you can see in some of them orbs, you can't explain it. And so I think that gets into a deeper discussion. But when you were talking about this, when I first started kind of on this journey with Representative Burlison and Representative Burchett, Representative Jared Moskowitz and Representative Gates, a lot of people said, you are going to ruin your career over this. It is one of the most widely questioned things now. And I
So-
think this gets into a deeper issue of, do you think that we're the only, are you?
So that's what I was going to ask you. Instead of saying, do you know something? Let me say this. Is this a
What happened?
What happened?
spiritual question? Which is the bigger question?
No idea. Hold on a
Defense
sec. Oh, it's
or-
probably Clint doing something. I don't know. There we go.
Pin on.
I'm
Defense,
sorry about that.
Defense
Sorry, I
national
had to reboot my router.
Pin off. I think.
What is pin on, pin off? Oh, okay.
Wait, go back a little bit. This is important.
We should,
Pin on.
we should start it over.
Instead
What do you think? And,
So-
I
so-
think this gets into a deeper issue of,
This is
do you think
huge.
that we're the only, are you?
So that's what I was going to ask you. Instead of saying, do you know something? Let me say this. Is this a defense or is this a spiritual question? Which is the bigger question? Defense or philosophical spiritual?
With pin on, defense and national security.
Okay.
with pin off. I think.
What is pin on, pin off? Oh, okay. Okay.
Pin on and off.
The ring. Okay. I got it.
Yeah. Pin off. I think that it really kind of make people ask the fundamental question of, do you believe that well, first of all, do you believe in God or not? And then, do you believe that we're the only creation?
I don't understand.
Not speculating on nefarious or
right.
bad.
I don't understand how people are saying that this is going to make everybody question their faith. It's not going to. If I find out that there are other beings, why would it question?
Glenn,
why would it
first of
question
all,
faith?
there was a group of pastors. I don't even know who these pastors are that said that they had been briefed, and that was wholeheartedly not true. And Gerb Burlison put out a statement to actually say, I don't know why my comments are being taken out of context. I think a lot of people that knew the phenomena was real, and I'm not saying that these pastors do this, but what I am saying is we have come across people in our investigations that were knowingly planting false information to discredit it, that were then stonewalling obstructive people that have lied. I mean, if you've
from
seen it on
inside
Reddit,
the house, from inside the government,
all over. People within the sector on UAP investigations, people within the chambers and intelligence, etc. The former director of Arrow very famously attacked our witnesses and us, and then the new director of Arrow is 180 different and has actually been doing an incredible job.
So when she's on the clock, she has to see it as a threat and it's dangerous. But as a civilian, she's like, no, not really. But it is something spiritual. That is a massive statement that it's not a threat in her eyes.
Yep. And I've heard that there are other people, even in higher positions of government, that have information about this, and a lot of them think it's spiritual too, which is strange. I'm not going to lie.
This is the problem with so few people being able to see this stuff. We can't form intelligent opinions. We don't know, you're relying on such a tiny group of people to interpret and report back through coded language. And then we have to read between the lines. This is why, to some degree, I'm okay with whoever the fuck disclosures winds up to be. Like, just get this ball moving, because we need to get past this. We got to get some data. And then we can relitigate all this stuff 30 years from now when we sit down and have another hearing on whatever. But at this stage, it's like, on the one hand, these two narratives don't like fit in the same space for me, right? Like, on the one hand, you have this clean nuts and bolts narrative, Bob Lazar, craft in a hangar, toolbox on the table, extension cords, lights, there's guys cutting things, they're trying to figure out what makes these things fly. And then you have this wispy, non-committal other thing that's sort of going, this other narrative where it's like, well, it would make you look deeply within and question your connection to all things. And I don't think it's something that's so amazing and beautiful. And it's like, what are you talking about? There's no edge to any of this stuff except for the nuts and bolts people. Thank God that we're having that conversation too, but I just don't understand this.
So that's
very challenging for me.
You say non-committal, Clint, but I would say it's even more secretive than the nuts and bolts thing. And even in high positions of government. And this gets darker into, if you want to add the Epstein situation to all of this, chuck
it in.
Might as well.
Esotericism has been a thing way before the UFO topic was popular, man. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people within the topic that conflate the two or think that they're one and the same. And, you got to read literature and history to try and understand it, but not everybody does, if I'm honest with you. And that's where it gets into the ethereal kind of conversation that those who are not well-versed, like us, we just struggle with it naturally, as anybody who's not well-versed in that should.
I think what's frustrating to me is that, just as someone on the outside looking in and seeing, you see the media facing part of the disclosure discussion, but then also through various conversations, you kind of have a picture of what's going on behind the scenes a little bit. And so this disconnect, but it's public knowledge. Like, David Grush is very clear. This is why everybody loves David. He's so clear. Biologics, bodies, on ice, in a room. You can go there, put your hands on the thing. You can flip the switch and the light comes on. You can see it in there. You can pull it out and it's on a tray and we can look at it together and go, there's the alien. So this whole other vocabulary that's deployed in some of these press interactions, which I just find, I don't know, it's so, when I say non-committal, it's like they don't want to put an edge on it. They don't want to draw a shape to it. It's like, well, it's about God, It's kind of like that. It's like a God thing. And you're like, what are you talking about? Well, you have to look inside yourself and really answer those questions. It's like, what? That's not an answer. And I know you have answers. So I feel like that's just this weird dance that we're doing right now.
I don't personally care what they call it, as long as they don't bring the baggage with it, the baggage with words like spirits and things like that.
Well, the baggage comes with it. The baggage comes with it no matter what. Like, you can't just feel like it's a God thing, but we're not going to bring religion into it. It's like, well, hold on a second. What do you talk? What do you mean? How do you not? You can't separate those things, I don't think.
Well, we need to try by the sounds of things.
Jack Valet and John Keel have written about this ad nauseum, and people have largely ignored them, especially the religious ones. What they've been saying, this thing seems to play with human perception. It seems to have this trickster element to it. And nobody's listening. When they see something like that, they go, oh, it's my insert God's name of your religion here. Yeah. That's always the reaction from people.
I'm having a hard time.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, this is I know we think about like the general public who doesn't believe in UFOs at all coming up to speed and being like having shock of like, okay, I guess this is a real thing. I'm trying to prepare myself right now for the possibility that, like, I'm an atheist my whole life. I don't believe in God. So if I'm hearing more of this, I have to start being open to the idea that maybe that's a possibility. And that's very hard for me to wrap my head around.
Yep.
Like spirit, I understand spirituality. I consider myself kind of spiritual, but religious or godly, not at all. But if it comes out like officially, where people that I respect and care about are like, it looks like it might be God, I'm going to have to take a minute and go sit in a corner and be like, okay, what do I do now? Do I follow the evidence? If the evidence leads towards that, do I have to reframe my entire way of thinking like we're asking a lot of society to do? Maybe I do. It's a weird discussion right now.
It's a very weird discussion. And what's even weirder is that I'm consulting an artificial superintelligence to try and get clarity on it. I'm like, Claude, Fable 5, maximum effort. Crunch on.
Somebody's asking, if you don't believe God exists, what do you believe? I believe in dogs. That's what I believe in.
I think Admiral James T. Kirk put it best when he said, what does God need with a starship? And if he's God,
I love that line.
We sure can shoot him down
with a starship.
We can shoot him down. We can put him on a truck. We can take him down to a fucking base and we can load him into a freezer. I mean, gods they may claim to be, but they bleed and we seem to kill them just like anything else. So there's a disconnect here, and that's what I'm talking about. The disconnect concerns me. There's the people who say, oh, it's a threat. There are other people who say, oh, it's God. Oh, it's a demon. Well, this is a decision space that is already run by just a lot of unpredictable people, and I think we need clarity in language. We need clarity in data. We need a clear picture of what we're dealing with so that we can make educated, real decisions about what the fuck happens next, because I think everybody agrees that something strange is in the neighborhood, and some people know what's going on. We need to get to those people as quickly as possible.
Yep.
And because I'm not against the idea that this is there could be a threat. There probably is. Why wouldn't there be? You know, like, but we need to understand what the nature of it is, and what are we dealing with here?
I wonder if the perception of what a threat is would even change, and how would it change if we found out that that death was not the end as well. That would change the dynamic massively.
Yeah. Oh,
because
dude.
if we found out that something happens afterwards and that it could potentially be better than the experience we're having right now, what's a threat at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's gonna be a lot of
we've heard
people
the stories
jumping
that
from bridges and shit like that.
yeah, we've heard the stories of Greys just kind of they're expendable. And are they expendable because they're completely absent of any form of consciousness, or are they expendable because they know it doesn't matter what happens to my body? I can starve it'll be a week of starving or whatever, and then I'll just move on. I'll just go reset, do whatever happens next. So there is no threat from some perspectives.
There's an outstanding series that really did a great job. I think it was based on a book series called Altered Carbon, if I remember right. Where people it's about this future where they have figured out how to transfer consciousness into new bodies, and so they're always cloning new bodies, and so the ultra elite just always live in the best genetic bodies. They just have these youthful athletic physiques, and people who don't have that kind of access or means, they kind of have to make do. But it's a post-death society. So when your body expires, these people just go on. And they kind of talk about how the culture gets really warped and bizarre after a very short period of time, just because of the nature of how all that power accumulates and just never redistributes in any meaningful way. It's very cool. Cool
That was
show.
a Netflix show, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they only did 2 seasons and then it got canceled.
I think I saw the first one.
Well, if death is not permanent, and then you had some kind of mastery over that process, if it was amenable to some form of technology, consciousness, you could be, packaged and moved from one container to another container and then just switch on. That would be destabilizing.
Just the only reason I brought it up is because we might see these acts as atrocities and stuff, but what if what if whatever's interacting with us doesn't even recognize sanctity of life because it's kind of just one element? For us, life is quite literally everything, but it might just be the smallest portion of the entirety of existence. So whilst it means a lot to us, quite frankly it means everything, it might literally mean next to nothing for an advanced species. So when we say they're a threat that we need to deal with, I'm not sure they would see it in the same way. And even if I did see them doing something absolutely horrible, you can't automatically assume, well, that means they're evil, because they might be on a level of understanding that they might be doing something out of love.
That's what every cult leader says right before they fuck everybody's wife. And
if you wouldn't mind, go to my new website.
Those concepts are anthropomorphizations, right? The evil, all that. That's what we're doing. God.
Maybe,
yeah. We have a sample size of one to work. We only know what we're like, and we're pretty brutal. And so let's start there. Let's assume that let's work with that.
I think that's the government approach. I think that's the right approach. It is the right approach, in my opinion. But it's we have to acknowledge it might be one of 100 different approaches that are more. 99 other approaches might be more appropriate.
I just think you have to look at it in terms of, if it is discovered and proven that abductions have taken place, and I think they have, and I think that's been well established. But if it comes out that there's real physical evidence that is irrefutable that that's a thing, well, there you go. That's a problem. I don't care what the reason is. It's not like a cult leader would say, oh, well, it's for their good. It's for their own. I need to take your children. Don't worry. I'm operating on a higher level. I just don't, I can't.
It's cool. I can do this. Yeah.
I'm cool. I got this. Don't worry. I have the pentagram and I know how to read the book and we're fine.
I think it would be a case of I would need some damn good evidence that what they're doing is for good. I mean, it wouldn't be a case of just them beaming that thought into my head and me going, oh, well, you're smarter than me, so whatever.
Well,
like, it's definitely not that, but it would be okay, show me why you have to abduct me.
This is why Carla Turner is so badass, because she starts with these questions. She doesn't actually even start with the questions. She just starts with the observations. She goes, we know these things lie. They lie all the time. They tell people all kinds of stuff. They take you from your bed when you're a child, and then they literally black out your memories for decades, because that's what happened to you is so traumatic that the idea that you could possibly remember it before you're ready would destroy you. And even people who do recall these things later in life, in many cases, are destroyed psychologically. Not everybody, not always, but many times. And so she goes, we know they're deceptive. We know they take people against their will. We know they implant false memories. We know that they tell us dates and times of things that are supposedly going to happen that never take place. They mislead people all the time. They appear in different disguises. They have all kinds of stories about where they're from, and none of them match. None of them line up. And I think Carla's position is the correct one. It's not accepting things on blind faith, but just asking real questions about what we can observe and saying, well, what can you extrapolate from this? There's something here that is not operating in our best interest. It's got its own thing going on, and we are subject to whatever it wants us to do. And that's a real problem. And if the argument is, look, we need to establish a part of our defense budget, to allocate, for these kinds of things, I'm not saying that I want that to be the outcome. I'm saying that that's an argument that you could make, and it has legs. And I think a lot of people would be on board with that argument. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But at some point, we're going to have to face up to the fact that there's more than one intelligent group out there, and they do have physical craft. They do come here. We can shoot them down. We can cart them off in a truck. We can take their ships apart. I mean, that's all that's very close to home. Supposedly we have guys that can fly these things. There might be some in orbit right now that are just stored there. When we get this information, when disclosure comes out, it's going to be like, we're going to have to do 250 years of growing up in the span of like 18 months.
Is that possible?
Probably quicker than that.
Is that possible even remotely?
I don't think we have a choice.
I don't
without
think
help.
so.
It's either possible or we die, I think. Or that's the end of humanity.
I think that might be what this disclosure is about. It's like a Hail Mary. Look, if we do this now, maybe we make it. But we got to let it out very slow. It's a slow drip. It can't be if we open the floodgates all at once and everybody got everything, we would tear ourselves apart.
I don't know,
That is
though.
wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Maybe if we can just get Palantir in place to surveil everyone from birth until the grave,
Then we'll be good.
and then we have a total ubiquitous surveillance network and a drone army, then we'll give you free healthcare.
No, we won't.
It starts to sound like
Black Mirror.
no, more context required, because some of the thoughts that you're sharing may well be echoed within the legacy program. And you could argue that for a lot of these people could as a result argue that secrecy must be maintained because they simply do not see a way of us surviving truth, revealing truth. And you know what? Maybe they're right. I don't know. I have to believe that it is possible for us to get past whatever this great filter might be, because I ultimately believe other species have done it, because I believe they're visiting us. And I do believe a lot of us. I personally believe I'm capable of, but everyone would say that about themselves. Absolutely.
Capable of just processing it?
Capable of processing it and capable of handling whatever comes as a result.
I mean, dude, history and like the ancient mystical traditions already had contact with some type of non-human intelligence. There are these, like, from the Amazon tribes that called them Nuwa Banku or something like that, but it's the same description of the Greys. So contact with those things, I don't think would do anything to our ontology, really. I think that what they're trying to hide, because I think we would adapt, Dan. That's why I said that. We're adaptable as a species. So it would be traumatic at first to encounter them, I would guess, in a more public fashion, but we would adapt. It wouldn't be like, oh, we would go completely crazy. What I think might be happening, though, the cover up, though, is this idea of a breakaway civilization that Richard Dolan talks about. And this idea of the technology that has been hidden for many decades. You do have Mark Andreessen on record saying that he was told by the government that they classified entire areas of physics.
Sure.
How much of that has been going on?
I mean, Hal said that in the interview with Gerb. Hal said that, Gerb brought up the fact that companies like Lockheed had their own recovery, like crash retrieval programs. And what's to say they're not doing their own research to have their own tech that they don't give to U.S. governments or whoever? So that's kind of a breakaway thing right there, too.
Yep.
Yeah. And I wanted to play this because it talks a little bit more about the shock of it all, and it also includes religion as well, and it's Burlison on with Ross Coulthart, and also we need to thank continuously UAP James, because his
shout out James
is just an endless source of content for us.
We're on the cusp of perhaps uncovering the biggest secret in human history, if this is true.
It would be. I mean, to me, it would be the greatest revelation since Jesus Christ, since the birth of God.
Now, seeing you've mentioned God, you're a man of faith.
Yeah.
I think you're a Protestant.
Yes.
You go to church regularly. Can I ask you, are you in any way confronted by the possibility, the ontological shock that might be born? Christians are meant to be so vulnerable that the discovery of a non-human intelligence would apparently shatter the worldview. What do you say to that?
I think that to people who would have their worldview shattered probably haven't read the Bible enough. To me, the more that you read the Bible, you come to the conclusion that God has created a vast universe that's much bigger than the one that the little planet that we occupy.
Dan, were you asleep?
We've lost Pavel. Pavel's gone.
I can't fucking handle the God talk with everything.
It gets old.
It bugs me so much, unless it's real. But what if it's real? Then I guess I got some learning to do. But if you're struggling with it, you need to spend more time with the Bible.
Having said that, for the longest time, we've one of the biggest reasons that it's always cited is that it would destroy religion, and thus it would completely shatter the belief of literally billions of people around the world, and that's why they're not coming forward with the truth in that. So it's nice at least to hear the people hear steadfast Christians and Catholics or whatever saying, yeah, it wouldn't shake my belief. Like, at least, like, if we get enough people saying that because they've reinterpreted the Bible as not quite so literal as it originally was, that's fine to do. At some point, if you're taking everything that the Bible says as not literal, do you need the Bible?
Right. Right.
But I don't know. But at least for the moment, it's good to I think it's not a bad thing to have religious people saying that the revelation of non-human intelligence wouldn't necessarily shake my faith at all.
Which is great to say, but like, they don't know that. You don't know what we're talking about. Like, for me to say it's not going to make me believe in God, well, I don't know that until I see what we're talking about. You have no idea what it could do to you until you really know what's going on. So for them to say like it won't shake my belief, you may think that, but what if you're shown something that like completely transforms the way you think about everything? Of course it will affect or could
Well, we've
affect
seen it-
your religious beliefs.
We've seen it before, and religion has. I mean, not to this degree, absolutely, but we've seen comparable things. Like the Bible says the Earth was made in 7 days. The Bible says the Earth was 6,000 years old. All of these things were shattering pieces of science that changed everything that we knew about the universe. And we didn't know galaxies existed. And then all of a sudden we found out there were quite literally like 2 trillion galaxies or something ridiculous.
Exoplanets. I mean, they haven't even discovered the first exoplanet a few decades ago.
Religion can adapt just as humans can, because if humans want to believe in something, it's kind of hubristic for me to say this, but if humans want to believe in something, they'll find a way. They'll sort it out.
Someone in the chat, Mr. Thomas, says, why just Christianity? How do Jews, Muslims, and Buddhists see it, for example? Great question. I would love to have those people chime in on this topic.
I think Gerb's a Buddhist. Gerb's a Buddhist, isn't he? Gerb.
I don't know. He may be, though.
I'm pretty sure he's a Buddhist.
He told me he was a Scientologist. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm kidding.
I spoke to Peter about this, though. Probably which religions. I asked him about specifically Jewish people, and he basically told me that the Jewish population has a very apocalyptic vision of the world because of historically their situation and all that, right? But I don't know. It just makes me think that if they in any way entertain that the phenomenon is real, I would think that they would take that route, the more biblical sort of apocalyptic version of it. I don't know if you guys would agree with that, but it makes sense to me.
Jewish people in particular would look at it as apocalyptic.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I think I'm good with all the religious people making decisions. I think I'm done. I don't think I want any more religious people making any decisions at all. I think that's just a smart move going forward.
After 2,000 years?
I've just seen enough religious decision making and play out, and I think it's good. I think we're good here.
That's probably a safer statement. Let's just cut out religious dogma in government and decision making. I think so. That's a reasonable thing to say.
I'm not just saying, but I don't. It's not because I don't want to talk about it or address it. I'm just saying that, these are the same people that are like,
policy is not the way.
Religion as policy is not the way. I don't want the religious right in this country handling UAP policy. That's not the starting point that we need to be jumping off from. We need to just get that out of the way early. I could see that framing being put in place right now, and it's starting to, be a little bit, it's hard to miss. They keep bringing it up, and it's like, why do you keep bringing this up? Those pastors who got on YouTube and claimed that they had been briefed I think they were just doing the social media thing, but that's creepy too. Those guys, then you've got your local bedazzled pastor and his painted on rhinestone jeans with a
who was it that said
Ed Hardy
that he made that plane so cheap I had to buy it.
And then the whole Chris Bledsoe movement, right? That's also concerning.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with Chris Bledsoe. I think I'm moving on.
I think there's just a worrying. They could very easily cross over at this point. So I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, I genuinely hope that doesn't happen, because I do find his story interesting, and I'm not against a lot of the stuff and the stuff he's proposed in principle. I don't believe it's all a massive hoax, but you can't deny that it's the religiosity of it has increased recently.
I think people get lost along the way, and he feels like one of them to me.
Could be.
Not that I'm against anybody interpreting it through a religious lens. It's just that policy should not be made after those interpretations take place through a religious lens. If it's an individual who's got your own, if you're doing your own thing and you want to have Skywatcher event and charge people money to come out and do something, whatever, that's fine. That's an experience that people pay for. There's no problem there. But it's just when it crosses over into policy circles, that's where I get a little nervous. When you hear people, you know, framing it this way before we just don't have any information yet. And it never ends well when it starts there.
You know, I used to be an atheist for many years. And I think I have to make this distinction very specifically because after my NDE, I just no longer know. And there's people who are atheists and then they go through a really traumatic experience like that and they suddenly turn to Christianity or something like that. That didn't happen to me. My perspective changed as in I no longer know if there's no God. I'm not sure. You know?
Sure.
I want to clarify too that I'm not anti-faith. I'm not anti-spirituality. I have my own very, you know, specific sort of spiritual setup that works for me. And so I get it. I totally get it. And you need to be able to lean on a framework that is a little more robust to process some of these things. So I get that too. My distinction is just about policy in terms of like personal, individual, one-on-one experience with, you know, your subjective experience with reality. I'm open to whatever. I just, I don't know. I guess humans have never been in the position where we've really been faced with a superior being, a being that is stronger, faster, smarter, longer lived.
I guess that's where the Bible comes from and all those stories, right? They did have some kind of contact back then, and they interpreted it like they have.
And it was a shit show. I mean, it was a fucking shit show.
Years.
It doesn't end well for in any case. It's like whether there were many gods or one god or whatever. It's always a shit show, and it's a complete mess. And I think that however this goes down, like letting the religious people run it is probably not the smartest move. But what I would hope for, and my genuine hope would be that contact of some kind, open contact, where we see them, they see us, we know we see them, we know they see us. We have that moment of mutual recognition that happens on a global scale, would stimulate humanity to rally around the humanness that unites us as a species with one point of origin and one story, instead of looking at ourselves as a divided race with all these different religious viewpoints and all of this craziness. What is the best of what we have to offer? You know, we produced Phil Collins. We produced Jimi Hendrix. Back to the Future is a great movie.
Led Zeppelin.
Yes, like Eddie Van Halen is, you know, he's one of us.
We also did Milli Vanilli. So like, what's your point?
You know, the Milli Vanilli experience was a ride.
You know,
so
I think we do equal part great things and horrible things. Like, you know,
true.
Yeah.
But you know, pizza's
mostly
great.
Good.
Look, we have things to offer.
I think we're mostly good.
It's my slight
Pizza's
worry
great
about
is relative, Clint.
No, it's not.
And people can't
This is my slight worry about the slower form of disclosure, and the one that's just far too controlled is because if we're turning all of this stuff into weapons in the background, and I can't help but wonder, are we ripping the plaster, you call them band-aids, don't you? Are we ripping the band-aid off far too slowly, and it's causing us way too much pain? Everyone knows the best way to get rid of a band-aid is to go like, that's it, like, and then that problem is gone. Like, once the band-aid is off, the band-aid is no longer a problem.
Yeah, but underneath the band-aid is so much bad news for so many people who want to keep the band-aid on so that people don't see the extent of their wounds or their lies or their wrongdoing. So that I think that's
I'm
why
not a fan of history.
What?
I'm not a fan of history.
I'm not a fan of history.
Wes Decker, thank you for the super chat. Wes Decker says it may also be the materialists who find their beliefs shaken. The spiritual and religious may have some built-in buffers. Yeah,
that's a good point. That's
what
my struggle is.
my whole journey into this space started with a psychedelic experience that showed me the future, and I can't deny that. So I'm on board with an expanded view of reality and these beings having a role in it. But I've also seen every episode of Stargate, and the story of Stargate is the gods are full of shit. They're actually aliens. They're pretending to be gods. You got to watch them. Be careful. Don't trust what they say. And here are some guns. Go free your people.
Ancient Aliens is a documentary, guys.
Dude, we don't know. We don't know. You got to be careful when these people show up. It's like V. Remember V? We're here to help.
Dude, yeah.
Pluribus. It's more recent, and that also is kind of like that. Only they are parasitic. They infect your brain.
Which one?
Pluribus.
Pluribus. Oh, Pluribus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Justin says, watch The Discovery on Netflix. That's when the world finds out there.
That is a good film.
Is that the one with the comedian guy, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Justin, you don't have to give us a super chat. You work here.
Yeah.
just send a text.
He's gifting like 5 memberships. He's already done it twice.
The best employees give their money back to their employer.
M. Deeds 1980. Hey, I'm a 1980 guy. I think the P-47 and the P-52s have somehow harnessed the power of the plasma beings, which might explain the high strangeness, but I don't know.
Definitely don't show your work. Let's just take that on its face as fact. That sounds great. Cool thought.
Thanks, Mel. This is great. This is just a shout out.
Does she also work here? She also works here. Stop sending us money.
Stop sending us stuff.
Do I have to pay money to be on the show now? Who do I pay?
Mr. Deads, again, a great show. Can the subscribers call in? I have a theory. I'd like your opinion. We need to revisit the call.
We can bring that back now. Yeah, we can bring that back.
We need
but
to
not
figure
now.
out.
Not right now. There was one more clip. Also, I want to praise Burlison. The last week, he has been everywhere, and even though he says he's, even though he just made some comments that were sort of religious in nature, he's doing some work right now, and he was just on Jesse Michaels. And this is just like good old fashioned, like meaty ufology that I get off on. So I'll play this.
Quarter zip.
So he's not public, and he probably will never go public, but he served in special forces, he was in the field and was brought into a room, and what he describes as a hovering black, again, it appears like it's 3-dimensional or 3 meters in diameter, but this thing was blacker than black sphere that was floating, and it just gave this sense of just complete evil and darkness, is the way he described it.
Wow.
He felt ill just being around it. He felt like there was just something really bad about it, and didn't want to go anywhere near it.
And was this at an aerospace facility, or?
It was overseas.
It was overseas.
And you can imagine, he's working during the time period in which we were in war. So you can imagine it's one of those locations, whether it's Iraq or Afghanistan.
Who is he?
Whoa. But it was in U.S. possession, or?
It's an anonymous.
I know who. I mean, I don't know the person's identity, but in this conversation, they were talking about how important and credible David Grush and Jake Barber are, both of them. And they started talking about a third person that is not known and is probably not going to be known, that they consider on the same level as Jake Barber and David Grush. That's what they were talking about.
Eric Hacker.
Yeah.
And so we had captured it there?
Or that it was a tech that we have. I don't know.
It was maybe actually human technology, or you think genuinely non-human?
He absolutely knew that it was either derived from alien tech, or that it was that it was captured.
I love that kind of ufology.
Evil black sphere.
Yeah. I want to know about these things because it kind of reminds me of what Randy Anderson said he saw. Not the evil part, but also Jordan Jozak. what is it with these spheres that give off vibes? These vibes.
Either really
spheres.
positive or really negative, right?
It likes you. It's chosen you.
What do you want to call it?
Everyone takes a step back.
The eyes.
What do you mean it chose me? Don't choose me, choose him.
I want to be left alone.
A sphere of evil? What if it does? What if it, what if it is the materialists who are really let down at the end of this? It's like, yeah, demons are real. Demons are real. There's a demon orb.
Bro,
We got
both
one.
extremes, I think, are wrong. The hardcore materialist, I think, are wrong. And the hardcore spiritualist, I think, are wrong.
Well,
What science fiction movie?
There needs to be a balance, as with everything, I think. And if you don't try and find it, your ontology is going to be shook for sure on either side that you are. That's my honest opinion on this.
Maybe there isn't a balance. Maybe it is two extremes that just don't mesh, and that's that's going to be a very difficult reality.
Maybe. I don't agree with that, but maybe.
That's fine.
I just love that kind like anything to do with like the whole idea that the Middle East has the reason we're really there is for all of this ancient stuff that we've found.
Ancient artifacts.
Of course.
Yeah. I absolutely love all of that stuff. I need to do an episode on it. To be
There's
fair.
something to it. I think there is something to that.
I mean,
There's
that's
a lot
what
of stuff now, isn't there?
that's what the
Stuff around the
Nazis
world
did.
and-
It's what the
Yeah.
French
A lot
did.
of-
It's what
a lot of
the-
counterfeiting too in Latin America specifically.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, for some reason, it led Himmler and his Annenauber to it was like North Africa. They went to like try and find some old shit. I just find that completely fascinating.
What are we looking for? Some old shit.
Some old shit.
Comb the
chalice.
desert.
Newgard UAP, thanks for the super chat. Wants to know what are some factors y'all look for regarding disinformation, trying to keep people off the right path regarding the phenomena, like in your opinions.
I mean, I think the Avi and Hal thing was a great example of like just straight up trying to get you off of. Don't ask those questions. Let's move forward.
the
That's
trail.
a great one. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not disinformation, but more like lie by omission kind of stuff.
Yep.
I think they laid it on way too thick, where they made it way too obvious what they're trying to do. I think they fucked it up in that interview of their plan.
They
Gerb
just sat
wasn't
down
in-
with the
in the
wrong
plan.
dude. They shouldn't have sat down with Gerb.
I know
They didn't do their research. They really didn't.
Gerb is a fucking crowbar, dude. It's the best.
He's a monster. He just manhandled both of those guys. It was crazy to watch. I felt bad for Hal, actually.
That's assault, brother.
Elderly abuse.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. But that's a great one. And for disinfo, I don't know, but in terms of disinfo, I don't look for one specific thing. I look for like things that just if you zoom out, feel, off. Some narrative things just feel a little like they're framing it a certain way. I try to stay away from that. And the what?
Like the God stuff? Is that one of them for you?
Yeah, I think the God stuff is more of like a breakdown in our vocabulary. I don't think we really have the right terminology to
It's
discuss.
interpretation, right?
It's an interpretation, because if it's the super spectrum, you talked about John Keel earlier, right? So and I like the super spectrum concept, right? Like there's this enormous spectrum, and humans exist in this one tiny little fraction of a percent that we can perceive with our five senses. So the idea being it's a big ocean out there and there's a lot of life in it and we're just one form of it. That makes sense to me. And the fact that there are beings that can maybe downshift into our reality and then other beings that can exist, coexist physically within the same reality that we're in and come here physically in craft. Those are probably both things that are happening at the same time. And, we're trying to interpret a lot of different things, right? Some of these things are possibly an intelligent form of plasma that is intelligent, but intelligent like a dolphin, not intelligent like the Borg, and then there are the grays, which are, some other form of intelligence sent here probably at the behest of another form of intelligence, possibly like the Nordics or something like that. And they, according to Burlison, I think it was Burlison, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but someone recently said that they had been told that the Nordics are only like 300 years further along than we are. But they're not that far. They're close enough to us that we could probably relate. You know, you could probably have normal or something like a normal diplomatic relationship with a group like that. It's not, they're not 30 million years ahead of us in some other, you know, substrate. So I don't know. I just like, I feel like I like to zoom out and look at the big picture and look at the things that seem to be most commonly the clusters of things that, you know, beings are here. They've probably been here for a long time. There's more than one kind. That I feel pretty sure about.
Yep.
Everything else is interpretation, or, you know, it's just gray area.
And to me, Psi is real. That's I'm pretty sure about that too.
I'm sure about that.
But
yeah.
I would say if you spot what you think is a red flag, I tend to trust my instincts quite heavily on red flags these days. There are enough people now who are useful in the information they bring forward and also don't come with red flags. I find that's all you need. And if somebody in the community sort of puts forward some sort of red flag that you're just like, that smells so wrong. For example, charging thousands and thousands of dollars for a trip to the desert. For 4 days in the desert. I don't like that. I'm sorry.
We'll charge you way less, and we'll have barbecue. We'll have beer.
Exactly.
We'll hang out. We'll get to know each other.
We'll probably have better conversation.
Yeah.
Well. So
come on.
If it smells bad, that to me smells bad. I don't need to do that. So yeah, that would be my advice. Is if it smells bad, it's probably bad.
In my case, I go by cases, and the ones that, and I do understand and I acknowledge this, the ones that feel like the most toxic probably started as some kind of a truth, but then they were contaminated by misinformation, like just to flood the zone and make you distracted about what's really going on. And that's always been the case. And it usually involves a lot of harassment of people, a lot of name calling, hacking, shit like that. And you just want to stay away from that, even though you feel like there's some truth to it. There's probably a reason why there's so much interference to it as well. So it's not that it's not true or that it's misinformation. It's just that it became an untouchable case. And there's many like that.
There is a great documentary. Wait, who was the original commenter? Whoever had the original comment. There's a great documentary called Mirage Men.
Oh, yeah.
About Richard Doty. And I just
Benowitz.
Benowitz. Yeah, Paul Benowitz and Richard Doty. I think I put it in the chat. Did it just go in there? I hope so.
Yep, it's there.
Okay. And that's an example of some of the shenanigans that go on. This is a case where there was a guy who was observing really strange phenomena that definitely appeared to be UAP by our current definition. But what the Air Force did was assign a counterintelligence unit to him. And they kind of befriended this guy and then formed a relationship and then basically made him think he was going crazy. And then what did Benowitz, did he unalive himself?
He sure did.
Yeah.
He did.
No, he didn't. He didn't actually.
Wait, he didn't?
No, I believe he passed away in a home. He was put in a psychiatric ward, I believe. I might be wrong on that, so maybe I should check. But I don't think he killed himself.
Oh, I thought that he did.
Me too.
Average Jose has a cool comment here. I think Nordics are some intelligence disguised as humans. It's too strange they aren't humans but look like us. Or maybe they are the Anunnaki. What if they're like
Atlanteans?
They wanted
or they were seated like we were, but on a different place where they grew to be taller with different gravity. Who knows? Or they made us or something.
Yeah,
there are possibilities.
more access.
I'm open to us being related to them for sure.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Because you could go there, right? Like if 300 years, more advanced, you could imagine a scenario where like there's an exchange program. We send people there, they get footage, or they send it back. We get a look at what it actually looks like. I mean, that is the boundary that I think has to be crossed. The reality boundary. We have to go from. This is right now for most people in the public a shared imagining that we are all compiling sort of individually, but then collectively, as made up of all these different stories we've heard, things we've read, stuff we've seen. Some of our references are common, some of them are not so common. And so everyone kind of has this concept maybe of what's going on, but one day it has to cross over that threshold and become so real that there's no more debating anymore. Like that's what they look like. There's a Nordic. It's a 7 foot tall. Yeah. They got 4% body fat. They're shredded. They're tall. But they're
my wife.
super weird, socially awkward. They have terrible music. They, everything smells like patchouli. I want to know those details. Like, what is that? Yeah. Where does that leave us when you can see that culture, like somebody who's just a little further down the road than we are, and then you have to go, well, maybe everything we're doing is wrong. Maybe we should stop. What are they doing? What did they do? Mm-hmm. I could see that causing some chaos.
Definitely. Yep.
We have. I've always got something. Eagles Disobey has an update.
Oh,
Eagles Disobey. We should end on an Eagles Disobey.
What a 4th of July treat this will be.
Here we go. So it says, ordered by D himself. D. Who's D?
Dan Burish.
Big D. Okay. Get that big D.
Big D. To lock this site until Dan and Marsha, I believe, and the rest of the core team returns. I can't believe this is being updated. Like, what are they doing? It's amazing. So the site's going to be locked down until the rest of the core team returns from a real-life fairy tale. We'll all be returning in the near term. Site still being protected. And that was Chavi just yesterday.
Dude, they're fucking with us.
Wait, read this part. What's this say?
This is a special order post by order of Lady Marcy. You know what these are? And it's Ray-Ban Metas.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember the old Eagles forums, it was said, I was a friend of Rowdy Roddy Piper. True, a hint. You have heard of this, the real Eagles Disobey. The whole disobey thing by using a brain is really important sometimes. Try thinking hard on this. Dan and I have gone to extremes in some cases to help you all. Who are they talking to here? I think it's just us four, right?
Probably.
Yeah,
you are facing extremes now.
And Brian,
yeah.
Brian.
You still have that free will. So many of you crowed about over the decades. Well, here you are. Either choose freedom or obey. From Marcy, with Dan and team in New York City. Stop calling, meaning to our non-team match friends on Goose Island, who keep asking and picking at us for info. So sorry, but not your concern.
NYC. New York City.
2 July. It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
they seem to me to be very, very sane people. Just normal vibes all around.
It keeps going. If you scroll down, there's a bunch more.
It goes all the way back. We've got this guy in a dress. Back on June 7th. Yeah, it goes back. It goes back a ways.
What the hell? I don't know. I don't know.
I would love for them to chime in on the actual stuff that's going on. Like, why don't they say something about Burlison? Hey, if you're watching, Say something about Burlison next time.
Also, how big is your
What you
team?
think.
I want to know how big their team is and what their team does.
And what does it pay? Because
It's just like, what do you do? Like, there's no public. There's no like.
What does it pay?
Why spend so much energy every week writing in coded language these super specific posts that are like, I mean, they do read like nonsense to someone on the outside, but it looks like they're
Ask
very.
Matthew Pines.
Why did the dots go up here?
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
What is that?
How do you even do that?
I don't know. That's
all right.
that's
I'm
like
going to turn
reverse engineered.
Let's turn Fable loose on this and see.
My word.
You're gonna open up a portal. Careful.
There is a capture to get into the website.
Oh,
now,
no.
So I don't know if it'll be able to get past it.
Should I get my tinfoil?
If it can get into the NSA, it can deal with Dan Burrish. Here we go. Fable 5. Effort. Max.
Spending all your credits.
Enhance.
Enhance.
Oh,
Magnify.
It's just cooking now. Shout out to Rob Jones, who taught me the let it cook technique. Just let it cook. Set it for maximum. Go make a sandwich. Come back.
So we're all facing extremes now. What? I mean, he's not wrong in a way. You still have that free will. So many of you crowed about over the decades. Well, here you are. Either choose freedom or.
Is that image available?
It's literally so the Fable prompt right now is circumventing CAPTCHA barriers, synthesizing biographical research find. It's just got around CAPTCHA on its own. That's great.
What image? Sorry,
we're all gonna.
So
die.
that Obey image with the glasses and the bubble gum, is that a Googleable?
The whole thing is an image. I can't highlight the text because it's an image.
I guess I'm curious if Dan, Marcy, and team made the image of the Obey glasses with bubble gum, and if not, like what's the clue with the bubble gum? There's got to be clues in here.
Is it? But what is the gum? Which gum is it?
It's just standard bubble gum, double bubble.
Double bubble. Okay.
Enhance, magnify.
Well, he came to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and he was all out of bubble gum.
All out of bubble gum. Right.
That's the line.
Mm-hmm. All right, sure.
Also, was that Rowdy Roddy Piper?
Yeah.
Still is.
Ah,
that movie's
I never
so
made
good.
that connection before. Interesting.
I watched
talked about it
Repo
in
Man
my
for the
last
first time
episode.
last night. I didn't realize how much that movie had to do with UFOs and aliens.
Did you like it? Like Repo Man's weird.
I did. It's weird as shit, but I did enjoy it.
It's really good. In a weird
I
way.
may or may not have been enhanced, but I did enjoy it.
They're making a new Tremors. Kevin Bacon's coming back for a new Tremors movie.
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled.
Oh. You didn't like Tremors?
It was fine. I mean, it's
Graboids. The Graboids.
Is your bot still cooking?
Let's take a look. Boop. Oh wow. The site is alive and someone's actively paying for security on it, which suggests stewardship rather than abandonment, but it's also invisible to crawlers. Search engines can't index past the wall. For forensic sourcing, the Wayback Machine's dated captures of Eagle Disobey are better instrument anyway. They let you pin what was claimed and when. Okay, it says... Yeah, okay. So that's not giving me the... those aren't the droids I'm looking for. Let's do it again.
You've won this time, Dan and Marcy.
Clever clogs. Okay. I'm still fascinated by those dots. Like, why did they make the dots go up a little bit? That would have taken so much effort.
Yeah, I want to know how that was done.
That's what I mean. Like, they're spending time on this. Someone gets up every day and is like, thinking about this website with the DMs. All projects are ongoing. Secret Squirrel on duty. SESQ CIS DCST Eagles team. Does Gerb know what this means?
No, they're just trying to put the most confusing words together to make it as weird as possible.
Make
Vetting
it sound as
underway.
icy as you can.
Yeah.
And like their world, in their world, this idea of what majestic actually is really weird. It's like doesn't align with what you would think.
It's pretty Templary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
buzzword.
Don't even get me started.
Don't get me started. All right. Well, let's wrap it there. Eagles disobey. Who knows? What can you make of it?
More context required.
Super chats. What do we have? Grelch gifted 5 night shift memberships. Thank you so much, Grelch. That was awesome. Stephen Greer will be the new overlord. Rosen, Posen, Frozen says.
We can only hope.
Toxic Fart says stories are out there that we invaded Iraq for a Stargate. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true.
There's supposed to be a portal. I was listening to a podcast the other day just talking about portals and how there's a major one in the Middle East that has been used for thousands of years by NHI to go in and out, and that's why it's such an active war zone.
Interesting.
To fight over the Middle East portal. I don't know.
Christopher Cobb wants to know, what species are you partying with?
Reptilians, 100%.
Whoa, all right.
Because they're supposed to be funny. They're supposed to have a sense of humor, and I want to see some of that.
That'd be funny. Pavel, what about you? Who do you want to party with?
From in general.
Well, what species?
I would say probably the 9.
Oh, you went non-physical. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that their own species though?
I don't know what they are. I just know that they've apparently been communicating with Puharich, probably Dr. Michael Masters, and they seem to like the whole Halloween-esque kind of vibe. So I'm a fall guy. I like Halloween. So yeah, I like to party with them.
What do you think, Xander? How about you?
Oh, I'd be mantids.
Mantids?
Why? Yeah, 100% the mantids, because they're like the furthest. Yeah, they're the furthest from us, and I just want to see like what something like that looks like.
What if you were drunk and all you saw was just this fucking thing in a hood staring at you?
Yeah, dude, I need to see that. I gotta see it.
Cool.
I kind of want to see.
Doesn't matter how terrifying it is.
Clint is clearly the Nords, without any doubt, right?
I just want to hear what does their music sound like?
Shit. It sounds like shit, dude.
It's like that Russian bird guy that's doing the
do they have
that video
or whatever his name
Veritas
is. Do they have fart jokes? If they tell me a good fart joke, I'll be happy.
Or what was the Grays in Communion in the movie where they're dancing with Christopher
around
Walken?
the little blue guys.
Yeah.
Doing this.
They look fun.
Yeah.
Good question.
I think
in the chat,
what
what
species? Ukuleles. Go ahead.
What are you guys partying with?
In your absence, by the way, Clint, I did announce but not confirm with you 100% beforehand that we may be moving next week's stream to Wednesday instead because it's the Roswell anniversary. And also, yeah, I won't be able to stream Friday, so definitely.
Wednesday's great.
Wednesday would be cool, I think, and we may have had disclosure by then. Who knows? Because that's Mark Christopher Lee's deadline for me. I mean, I already have heavily dislike the guy, but things
are lining up, and we're getting a flyby. We're getting a flyby from some crazy craft that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, that's true.
SR-72.
Is that we know?
No,
just fucking around. That's an urban legend.
An herbal legend.
Herbal legend is cool.
An herbal legend, yeah.
That's gonna be the name of our custom strain that you'll be able to buy. Okay, Toxic Fart. Thanks for the $5 for Xander's Greer cruise. We're gonna send you on the Greer cruise.
Oh, Gino is on there. Hey, Gino. Do the mantoids wear pants? Do any aliens wear clothes?
Yeah,
shout out to Gino from the Wi-Fi.
The Nords wear clothes.
The Nords and the Greys, and the Mantids wear the cloaks. Some of the tall Greys wear those hooded cloaks.
I gotta say, I'm actually pretty impressed with the style. Like of all these aliens, they got the high collar, the little jewel thing, that medallion, whatever. That's
comfort wear.
Less like the vampire style. What the fuck, bro?
Well, it's kind of, I don't know. It's more Doctor Strange.
Remember those velour juicy suits, those juicy couture velour suits?
That's I thought that was the Nords who.
I could see them rocking those the juicy butt sweatpants.
Yeah, they get really into it.
Oh, God, I know which ones you mean now. Yeah.
Mental image.
Okay. Let's wrap it there, guys. That's 2 hours.
Did I ruin it? I'm sorry.
On that note,
It's Friday. You can't ruin
The eyes,
Friday, bro.
Xander. It's the eyes.
You weren't here for that, Clint. You'll have to watch it back. But it
Don't watch it. No one watch
cracked
it.
me up.
Nobody watch Xander's new video. Do
I
not
already
watch
saw
it.
it twice, bro. That part.
New Age miracles, fact or fraud. Did you guys see this? By the way, I put this in the chat. Can I share this? I think I can. It's from 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is just my new favorite thing, and then we can go out on this. Where is it? Oh, of course. Thanks, Clint. Weldon.
I'm gonna make Others from Another Mother velour jumpsuits. By the way, fuck you guys.
I want one.
As long as
I'm
it's
doing
got
it.
each hand on each butt cheek.
Oh, dude, that is the best idea ever. It's happening. My first piece of merch is gonna be velour jumpsuits.
Oh man.
This guy's get up is
Holy
incredible.
fuck. Is that Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer?
I've enlisted our friend Charles' able assistance in this portion of our presentation for reasons which will soon become obvious. Charles?
His eyes. The eyes.
Fuck, dude, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you dead. I'm sold.
What is this?
As you can see.
Now place it inside the plastic bag. Now break the bulb. Excellent. Now reach inside and choose a piece and hand it to me.
Is this Bob Dean's
Thank
nephew?
you. You may return to your seat.
Kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
Is he gonna eat it?
Got some ketchup or? Oh,
No way.
He's looking at the camera when he's doing it.
Don't know. That's David Blaine's uncle.
This is romancing me.
Who are the other guys in that room?
Dude, the brows are crazy, bro. What the hell?
You mean the brow?
Yeah. The Frida Kahlo brow.
This is literally like AI.
SNL sketch. That's Phil Hartman.
That must be great for the esophagus.
What the fuck is this?
Okay. All right.
No.
It's 2
Hold on.
minutes left.
Stop it. You don't get to start it and then stop it. We're gonna see it through to the end.
You want to see it
started
through?
this, you're gonna
Okay.
finish it.
All
There's
right,
no-
here we go.
We could
my God.
just
It's only
keep
got
playing.
two more minutes. Not even a minute.
Don't you
One
dare
more.
stop it there, you fuck.
Fire. One of the
Imagine
most
we
powerful
get
and
copyrighted
destructive
for this.
forces of nature.
Can we make this the new intro to Doom or Friday?
Please.
Let the whole thing play out. What is going on? Why does he have a
That
fupa?
belt buckle.
Why is he still walking like that?
That must have hurt.
He has
Oh,
a
that's
lady's
impressive.
lower half.
As you said earlier. If I can direct your attention to the demonstration area, I'll give you a first-hand look at psychic surgery.
What is going on?
Oh, this is some Pachita stuff. What the hell?
Yeah, this is some old school bullshit. He's palming the animal guts. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
The lady was like, what am I watching?
Ew.
Stop rubbing it. It's weird.
The next time you or someone you know is
head turn.
approached by a member of a New Age group, remember what you've seen here today.
Okay.
Oh man, that was amazing.
The next time you or someone you know is approached by a new age group, remember what you've seen here today. Keep that in
But
mind.
it's awesome.
I feel like I need to report that guy to the authorities.
Oh, I want to find out what the backstory is on that. That was
We'll get him on next week.
all right, guys. That's
Happy
it for
4th of
us.
July, America.
You're welcome.
Happy 4th to all my American friends.
It's great, man.
right.
Love it. So excited. What you guys doing anything this weekend? I mean, not you, Xander, but I mean, Dan, you.
I'm going
Just
to a barbecue.
watching the World Cup, bro.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what I'm doing.
Gross. Soccer, you mean?
No.
Soccer.
Don't start with me. Don't start with me.
Football.
Please.
I'm going to a barbecue today, and then I'm
going to a barbecue today.
I'm going to about a little down the road, and then tomorrow I'm going back to the Hamptons for another show. I think. Yeah.
Oh. Fancy.
Yeah, I think I'm going back. What are you guys doing? What are you doing, Clint?
I'm going out for burgers, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch some fireworks and hang out. Just take it easy.
Right on.
Nothing
And
everybody
today
in the
is
chat.
World UFO Day. I forgot about that. It's
World
today.
UFO.
Yeah. Happy World UFO Day.
There you go.
We should have opened.
How are you
with
going to
that.
celebrate?
That's a bombshell.
I'm going to eat a UFO.
Don't say that.
I didn't mean it, Boo. I didn't.
You didn't know who I was talking to.
Guys, let's let these people get out of here and enjoy their
Yeah,
weekend.
we're rambling.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for playing the home game and participating in the chat. For all the super chats, you guys were amazing. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We are working hard on finding some new cool ways that we can make the Doomer Friday experience more fun and exciting for everyone. So stay tuned for more on that, and we should have some cool news in a couple of weeks here. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for engaging in this interesting conversation about the weirdest subject ever. And just know that these are opinions. We're spitballing here. No one really knows for sure. So try to take a step back. Don't take too much of this so seriously. Go enjoy yourself. Get outside. Get some sunshine. Eat a hamburger or a vegan hot dog or some broccoli, whatever. And hang out with your friends, your family. Spend time with people you care about. Because at the end of the day, whatever's going on with aliens, Nordics, Greys, mantis beings, reptiles, or just the regular weirdos that we deal with every single day, it's a beautiful world out there. And life is short. So enjoy it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And keep looking up.